As the development of Minecraft Dungeons continued, and as more DLCs came and went, the quality of each progressive DLC grew tremendously. So, for the second to last DLC ever developed, the sheer quantity of features was enough to convince me this floor needed to happen. So let's dive into it, shall we? This floor in particular was not planned nearly as far in advance as the other floors. In fact, it was not even going to exist. The original plan to work in the Hidden Depths DLC into the tower was to rebuild the first floor. My reasoning for this was that the first floor did not truly add very much, as all the mobs from the Creeper Woods can either be found in other levels or are simply in vanilla Minecraft. However, as fate would have it, that plan was changed not because of a new idea, but actually because of the last series, the Overworld. You see, the ocean module for that episode required a ludicrous amount of transparent blue tiles, and so I had made parts orders for the tiles I needed for the second half of this project. I also included enough tiles to complete this ocean, which had been barren for almost a year. Or so I thought. Instead, I forgot to double the number because the tiles were not 2x2 but 1x2, so I had half the tiles I needed. There was one way to get the tiles I needed, and that was to take them from the tower itself. For the first draft of the first floor, I had a large lake at the very front of the level. By replacing it with flat terrain, I gave myself just enough tiles to complete the entire ocean, but that meant I needed a new home for the Hidden Depths portion of the display, and so I quickly whipped up a design for the floor and built it using parts from a bin while on a camping trip. So, after that tale of this floor's origins, it's time to dive into the module itself. The lift from the Cacti Canyon below leaves the hero on a small prismarine platform on the exterior of the floor, which is separated from the interior itself by a gateway of water, just like what is seen in the tower itself. Traveling through it, the hero is brought into a small interior where there is a granite floor and a fitting prismarine design on the ceiling, where I have included both dark prismarine and a sea lantern. Decorating the space is various sizes of horned coral, seagrass, and even a clamshell launcher, which brings players to a raised platform leading back outside. Once on the exterior once more, a wooden staircase in keeping with the redstone mines leads up to the next floor. For the figures in this module, there's not as much as your typical floor, as many of the mobs found here are either better suited to vanilla Minecraft or too hard to recreate custom designs for. There is a guardian outside the entrance, a trident drowned inside, a second drowned on the exterior staircase, and a small tropical slime on the inside. The player found here is wearing teleportation robes and holds a bee stinger and the ancient bow. Of course, I had to include the Elder Guardian, which takes up way too much space in the center of the module. It didn't quite feel like an ocean monument without one of these to guard the space. For this week's tiling time-lapse, there's a bit of change in scenery, as it was filmed while camping back when I made the module. It is slightly different than it is now, but not by much, so enjoy. Now, as is customary for the series, we move on to the cinematic of what has been created so far. With this quick episode over and done with, we can move on to the next. Only 2 potential mainland missions have yet to be featured, if you don't include the Stronghold. However, there is still one entire DLC left, and this will be one that is worthy of the size, effort, and complexity I have given it. So until then, I'll see you next week.